subscribe to Raze Chaos.
The following has been brought to you by Kramerica Industries.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos, and happy Festivus! Yes, I didn't really do much for Christmas this year, as far as the YouTube channel goes, but I am definitely going to celebrate Festivus in the most appropriate way possible. I know the Seinfeld Pops have been out for a while, but due to an issue with a certain Big Apple collectibles thing, it took me a while to actually get the Commons. It was kind of funny because I had pre-ordered them for Big Apple collectibles, yeah, you all know, anybody that knows anything about Big Apple collectibles can imagine how that ended and how long ago these came out. They just, especially since I only ordered a set of the Commons. And yeah, so I was doing videos on all the exclusives that other stores were putting out, which are all down there on my channel. You can check it out. But I didn't have the actual Commons. Well, that ends now. So we'll call that the airing of grievances. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into this because, yeah, we've got a couple to get through here. And first up, we have the Jerry's, obviously. We're going to go with Jerry's stuff first. Jerry Seinfeld, his damn show. This is the couple of Commons that came for him. One being him with standing with his microphone, which would be the for the stand-up bits that he would do in the early seasons, and then the infamous puffy shirt, which he wore in a specific episode because he didn't want to be a pirate. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take these out and have a look at them. Starting out with the Jerry with the microphone. Just Jerry in a suit with the microphone. A lot of the one of the exclusives that came out, I don't remember which one it was because it has been a while, but instead of having the microphone, he was actually holding the Pez dispenser, the little Tweety Bird Pez dispenser, and that was one of the bonuses. This one's just him with his microphone, and I think they phased out the stand-up bits that he would do. Not really sure why, but like they just kind of started doing it. I guess they felt that, I mean, I know that the stand-up bits were supposed to be like a overarching story inside that he would essentially kind of give away in the stand-up stuff. But I don't know that it worked all that well. And I don't know if it wasn't for the fact that when Larry David left the show, they may have been phasing it out before that, but then afterwards kind of phased it out. I think Larry David's writing had a lot to do with that. But yeah, that's the Jerry with microphone. And next up, we go with the puffy shirt. And yes, we have Jerry in the puffy shirt, which is really awesome. I love the detail in the arms, the fringes on the shirt and everything. It's hysterical, actually. If you don't know the story behind the puffy shirt, essentially, Kramer is dating a low talker, and when she's speaking so low that nobody can understand, she actually asks Jerry to wear the puffy shirt, which is what she's trying to promote. And not understanding what he says, he agrees to wear it on the Tonight Show, I believe. And of course, that doesn't go over well. And yes, he whines and complains the entire time. The one thing I do like noticing about this is there is a difference in the hairstyle on these, which is really kind of cool because his hair did change slightly throughout the series, even though it changed slightly, but you know, he still managed to keep that signature look the entire time. But yeah, the puffy shirt is definitely one of the standout episodes, and yeah, we definitely have this one. Next up, we're going to go with Elaine, because as far as the commons go, these were the only two that got two versions of them. I don't know that I don't think that Ellen really got any, or Elaine got any variants that came aside from that. I think that was mostly Jerry, George, and Kramer. And it's really kind of a compromise because Elaine being the main character, one of the main characters, the core cast, they had to give her at least one variant, and they went with that, and they had more variants for Jerry, more variants for Kramer, and I think only one variant for George. But it was a nice little compromise. And I think we're going to start off with the urban sombrero. Here we go. This is really, I really like how this was done because, you know, these are basically just regular people pops, which are kind of hard to really get too excited about. But with the sombrero, or the urban sombrero, it's really well done because you get the detail in the hat and everything, and just her having her suit on as she's worked. This is part of the Peterson collection, as far as looking for new items for him, and the urban sombrero is one of Elaine's big ideas to get going, which I don't think that goes too well with it, but like it certainly makes for a great Funko Pop. Yeah, if it seems like I'm trying to rush through this one, I really kind of am, because I cannot wait to get to the next one, which would be Elaine. This is Elaine in her flower dress holding her coffee cup, and I love the foot placement on this Funko Pop, because it's not only is it slightly a little awkward, but it also is reminiscent of the Elaine dance, the little kicks, which is really kind of cool, because that is the stance she kind of has in it in a lot of episodes. But it's also just, like as I said, reminiscent of the Elaine dance. So we're going to take this out and have a look. And I really love the detail they put into this, because not only do you have her holding the mug with the stance and everything, but they've got, it's a floral dress, and I love what they did with the hair. You've got the top, the top braid going on there, and then the bow on the back of her, which is one of those things that it reminds me as to why I started taking the Funko Pops out of the packages, because I totally would have missed this bow if I had not. But yeah, earrings, glasses. It's a really great contrast to the sombrero, you know, both being the same characters and having very different looks. Very, very awesome looking little thing. And yeah, I even love the shoes, because the shoes she's wearing in this pop are the white top little shoes that she wore a lot in the series. And you know, they kind of stood out inside the series. Like, you actually, I'm not somebody that generally notices shoes, but I always tended to notice hers in this case. And this is a total perfect representation of that. And yeah, it's one of the details I'm glad to see in this pop. If I haven't mentioned it already, Seinfeld is my favorite show of all time. And I am excited because I do kind of compare the Seinfeld to Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I know some people see a difference. I really don't. Yeah, I'm still excited because they're getting ready to do the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. They're going to let us know. I was like pretty sure that wasn't going to happen. I thought it was just dead and they weren't going to do anymore. So, yeah, that's exciting. And she makes appearances in that too. So, yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus was definitely a piece of the cast that really needed to happen. So, yeah, and I'm dropping them all right and left. But I got a lot to get through. Next up, we've got George and Kramer, which, rounding out the main cast is perfect. I already have some... Technically, Elaine is the only character that I've pulled out so far that I haven't already had one of, being of the variant nature. But George and Kramer both had other variants, so I was able to get those. It seems silly going after the commons so late in the game, but like I had to have them all. And and George is definitely the guy we're going with first here. So I'm gonna bust him out real quick and let's have a look at him. And here he is, his neurotic, anxiety-ridden George himself. George is one of those characters. It's no secret that the first couple seasons of Seinfeld really didn't work. It didn't really start to cook or start getting good until they brought Julia Louis-Dreyfus onto the main cast. And then the show really kind of started finding its footing. Jason Alexander, who played George, he is one of the people where you saw the biggest difference in the first couple episodes and everything. And the reason for that is that Jason Alexander, who played George, initially didn't really know how to play the character of George Costanza. And he was basically doing a version of Woody Allen. And once he got in there and really started looking around, trying to see, what to do with it, he had discovered that George Costanza was based on Larry David himself. And when he said, "Hey, I don't understand this wouldn't happen," and Larry David said, "Well, it did happen, and this is what I did." And from that point on, again, that was one of those moments that really kind of shot the show forward. Once Jason Alexander was able to find the character and basically do a Larry David impression all the way through it. What I really enjoyed is in Curb Your Enthusiasm, they do a reunion show, and at one point they have Jason Alexander quit, and Larry David says, "Well, hey, I've written George Costanza. It's based on me. I can play it." And they actually have a scene of Larry David trying to play George Costanza, and you can definitely see why it was a better idea to have Jason Alexander and not Larry David. I'm pretty sure the show wouldn't have lasted long if Larry David was actually playing George Costanza. But another big character. It's hard to call a favorite with these characters because the main cast, all of them had their moments of shining. But yep, we've got George. George is getting upset. And that puts us to the big guy, Kramer, Cosmo Kramer. He always kind of had they kind of had like 3 separate stories going on in there. And they always managed to merge together. And Kramer's was easily one of the strangest. We're going to go ahead and take him out and have a look at him. And here they have him with his big hair and everything. Cosmo is easily the character that they've made the most variants of, all the way down to just having him in his underwear, which that was a funny one to get, which marked the first of 2 Funko Pops I have of characters in their underwear. The other one being Peacemaker, which I find very ironic, considering that I love that show too, and I wouldn't have actually wanted to get either character in their underwear, but I couldn't resist the Kramer, though, just because he is hysterical, and the whole scene of him being in his underwear, the fact that they made it meant I need to get this. That, and I had to get all of the Kramers. But yeah, this is one of his classic shirts with the white with the green trim. Or two-tone shirt. I don't know exactly what you'd call that. But I love the fact that they've got his pants rolled up a little bit, because that's kind of the way he wore them. And of all the Seinfeld Pops, I think that this is the one that I have the most variants of. I think I've mentioned that already. But yeah, Michael Richards did an excellent job. And yeah, Cosmo Kramer is actually based on a man named Kenny Kramer that has really capitalized on the fact that he was the blueprint for the Kramer character. I love in the seasons that they actually have they actually do create their own pilot for their own show, and they actually have Kramer, Michael Richards' character Kramer, approach the actor playing him in the show, and just coming at him like, hey, this is how I am and everything, which is exactly what happened when the actual show started coming. I believe that Kenny Kramer actually did audition to be Cosmo Kramer, but I don't think that, but yeah, that Larry David was the first one to say, no, that's not what's going to happen. He was based on Larry David's actual neighbor. And so, yeah, that's the big man himself. A lot of people consider him the funniest part of the show, but I just kind of see him as a big part of the ensemble. So there's the 4 of them, and that it's really awesome having that nice big cast going on here. And part of the fun of the show of Seinfeld was all the interesting characters that they would run into and meet up with. And yeah, some of them found their way into the the Commons list. So we're going to pull out the next one just to show him off. And that would be Newman, the post office worker that is Jerry's neighbor and mortal enemy. Played by Wayne Knight. It was absolutely hysterical how he worked. And yeah, this guy could have made a career out of just being Newman, but he didn't. He's actually... I'm glad that he got to be in stuff like Jurassic Park and other things that he's made appearances in, just so you could really see how good of an actor he was, because otherwise it would have been really easy to typecast him as Newman. Yeah, we've got to take him out and have a look at him. And yeah, this is a pretty good representation of him, but the worst part about it is, again, Funkos aren't really known for their work with mouths. And Wayne Knight put a great Newman smile on this character. And without his smile, it's almost kind of lost a little bit. You see him in his postal uniform. You've got the patch on his arm. You've got his weird little fingers together that he would do and talk. And yeah, it's perfect. You just kind of, you see him and you just want to go, hello, Newman. It is perfect. And honestly, if you had talked to me about setting up this set, I wouldn't have necessarily gone beyond the 4 main characters, but the more I think about it, the more it's like, yeah, Newman needed to be in there. Whether he was just being Seinfeld's arch nemesis, which was never explained as to why he got to that status, or being just Kramer's friend that they would run around and get into hijinks together. But yes, he is as bad as he basically almost made it into being one of the core characters. And he was an absolute must for this collection. But there was one other character that managed to get into the base common set. And if you don't know who that is, you're going to find out here in a second. The infamous Yev Kasim, otherwise known as the Soup Nazi. That is so badass that is there. I don't know what else I should really say about him because, yeah, I have already talked about this because he is a character that got a variant. Walmart did a special with him where he was holding his soup ladle, and it came with the t-shirt. And yes, I've worn the t-shirt. I think it's the only Funko t-shirt I've ever actually worn. But yeah, that's yeah, we've got to take him out and have a look at him. Larry Thomas, the guy that played him, really kind of swung out for that one because of all the characters on here, he's had the fewest appearances. I think it was just the Soup Nazi episode and then the finale that he came up with. But he was such a memorable character that I believe he's taken him off into being in commercials and other things. And he's pretty much known as the Soup Nazi no matter where he goes. I believe the version that came with the t-shirt actually had the apron on the outside of his smock instead. But yeah, he's got his finger up there. No soup for you! Come back 1 year! But yeah, this is really awesome. I'm so glad to have gotten this collection. And yeah, that's gonna be it for the Funko Pops as far as the Seinfeld guys go. But it wouldn't be Festivus without a Festivus miracle. And you know Raze has got one more thing, or a couple more things to show you before he goes. And here it is! The Little People Collectors set of the Seinfeld. I love the fact that they have this. They've got the ages 1 to 101, and it's got the 4 primary cast guys. They've got a nice little homage on the back of all of this is like really kind of a reminder of an episode. You've got Kramer with his coffee table book. You've got Jerry, of course, sipping his coffee with his bowl of cereal. Elaine running out with all the toilet paper, and I don't have a squirt to spare, as it says on there. And George with his oversized wallet. Overstuffed wallet, I guess you say. I had to get this just because I am a crazy Seinfeld completionist. So we're going to take this guy out and see what all comes with this. So I am a little disappointed with this just because they've got the background set up here for a great scene. Plenty of nods here. You've got the Fusilli Jerry in the back. You've got the urban sombrero on the couch. You've got the puffy shirt going on next to the door, and then the picket sign saying Festivus yes and bagels no. So it's obvious that between that and all the quotes that they have along the side and the back, you could tell that they really went all out for that. And yeah, even the figures themselves, it's really kind of cool. It's a lot of fun. You've got Elaine, and oddly enough, just being in this pose says a lot, because Elaine tended to put her arms up when she got excited and, you know, do a little excitement dance that she would do, and this pose is almost perfect for that. And then you get good old George, and they actually have him holding the eclair, which, you know, if you've seen the series, there is an episode where George sees an eclair in the trash, and while he's at his significant other's place, and decides to have a taste and gets caught doing it. And then there's a big argument as to whether, you know, it was sitting above the trash. And but yeah, it was still on the doily and everything. Yeah, just total classic. This was a lot of fun to go ahead and grab. I had to get it. Here is Kramer with his chicken, which, you know, there's a whole episode where he absolutely loves this chicken, but the sign, like, basically puts a huge glare into his apartment to where he can't sleep, and his face even has the smirk. I love how they did the hair, and yeah, these are definitely, little kids would not get this, and that's what it appears to be geared towards. I think it's smart that little people decided to go the collector's route and try and get some outside of the normal demographic audience going on here. And of course, you finish it off with Seinfeld with the microphone and his classic blue shirt that he tended to wear in a lot of the episodes. But yeah, he's holding his microphone, doing his stand-up, and that is the set of those. So, yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this Festivus miracle. Let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite, be it the little people or any one of the characters. And let me know down in the comments who your favorite character was, or what your favorite episode is. I don't really have a favorite episode because I kind of see it as all one big thing and love it as such. But I hope you enjoyed this bonus little Festivus video. I hope you have a wonderful Festivus. I hope you get your aluminum pole out. I hope you air your grievances, and let me know in the comments about what feats of strength that you exhibit during this Festivus season. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now, but never forget, life is full of odd moments, and you never know when you're going to be defined. And it's a Festivus for the rest of us!